It's fine.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First thing on the agenda is consent agenda approval of October 24th, 2022 minutes, approval of October 26th, 22 special minute meetings, approval payment JB Construction, curb replacement at Morrill Avenue and Lodge Road in the amount of $44,869.60. Approval payment JMB Construction, concrete curb replacement at 3rd Norgan Street in the amount of $9,544. Approval payment to G Works for annual software license and support in the amount of $12,469. Approval payment to Global Glacier Hill Resource and Service and Development Regional Inc. for the 2022 Northeast Kansas Enterprise Facility support in the amount of $3,300. Utility deposit refunds. Approval October 22 accounts payable report. Approval of October municipal judges report. Is there a motion we approve the consent agenda as read?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Which has been made and second. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Regular agenda, non-public comment, petition memorial. Brenda Bolin. Want to come up?
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, I'm here because I have 3 requests for Star Park at 900 Potawatomi Street. And the first request is to name the basketball court there for Coach John B. McClendon Jr. I'm not sure, but the McClendons might have lived in that area. They did attend the church, the black church that's there at the corner. So that's my first request. The second request is just a trash can on the east side of the basketball court, because I go there and I pick up trash, and that's where trash seems to be found after people have been there and use the basketball court. And my third request is a flagpole there at Star Park for a Civil War soldier, Black Civil War soldier. His name is York Alexander. York Alexander may not be known to all of you, but if you know anything about the Hiawatha Cemetery, there's a white cannon there, and around the cannon are stones with names, and York Alexander's name is there on a stone. And for the memorial section of the local paper for Memorial Day, York Alexander's name is there. York Alexander lived at Star Park. He purchased lot 133 about 1896. So York Alexander lived there, and I think it's only fitting that a flagpole would be erected there. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We probably won't do anything with it tonight. We'll bring it back to the next meeting, and so we have a little research done on how Star Park was started and it was named. And I think Stars over here bought the property and then gave it to the city. So but, we just got a little work to do on that, and we'll give you an answer in a couple of weeks. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Erin, library. There she is.
Good evening. I'm just here with a quarterly update towards the end of the year now. So lots have happened since our end of the summer. This whole November, we are doing a charity drive for both the Humane Society and Food Bank here in town. So we have a large tote. We started off with a large tote, and we've actually had this big fish tank we've had since the summer. And so we're having people put in their donations for those two organizations to be put in our big fish tank on our top floor. And then at the end of November, right before Thanksgiving, we'll go and give those to those different organizations. On our website and posted in the library, we have the list of needs that both the Humane Society and Food Bank gave to us for their top priorities. They're not short lists, of course, because they're always in need of something. So we've already got a few donations in, and we're very excited to be able to give back since so many community members have been supporting us this year. We are happy to do this for them this month. Next, just a quick point in our newsletter and on our website and everything else, we have an end of the year giving letter campaign we're doing. And we have different giving levels listed on the very back of our newsletter for this month. And so we're just, it's just something we've started to do. Instead of doing an event for the end of the year as a donation drive for the library, we're doing this letter to get people to know what we're all about, and so just promoting our services and how we can help the community. And in turn, we will have a large plaque denoting the different levels that people have given to with their names under the different reading themed giving levels. And even if you don't meet the low threshold of $100, if you give at least $25, we will put in a permanent book plate. It's a permanent sticker that goes in the front cover of any book, and we will have a name put there, whether it's from the person giving, if they would like to have it go towards a memorial or anything else like that in someone else's name for a celebration, things like that. So we're doing that campaign, and we had it in our newsletter this month, and it goes through the end of the year. And other things that have been going on for the library, our community outreach librarian, Kelly, she's gone to all the local schools and has given talks to every single student that she could meet and talk to. And after doing that, we have seen a great uptick in attendance from people who haven't even come to our library before, but because Kelly was able to go and talk about all the fun activities we do, we've seen a great number in our after school cool program and our Teen Tuesdays program. We see regularly at least 20 to 30 kiddos after school on Thursdays. That is upper elementary school. And then on Teen Tuesdays, we see anywhere from 4 to 6 teens for middle school on Tuesdays. So we're very happy. That's a newer program, so we're happy to get really anybody to come and do some fun activities with one of our staff members. We were able to attend Maple Leaf Festival, and we talked to over 300 people. It was a really fun way to get to see people who don't know about us, don't know what we do, all of the fun services we offer. So we were able to give away a lot of books that were purchased with funds that were specifically for giving away books. So we had two or three really full boxes, and we gave them all away at the Maple Leaf Festival. We always loved giving away books and promoting literacy in that way. And stickers. We had lots of stickers, and kiddos love getting any kind of sticker. And then in October, we did a murder mystery event that was Clue themed. That was a lot of fun. We had a great, better than we thought we might get attendance, and we'll be doing another one in the spring because they asked for one, and we knew some people couldn't make it that evening, so we're going to do another one in the spring for a murder mystery. And then, of course, our Pumpkin Patch Story Times, our second year doing it, and we had 41 people come and listen to a story at the Mulberry Pond Pumpkin Patch, and then we decorated pumpkins, and we had several parents come up and tell us how much they appreciated us doing fun family activities in other places in the community rather than just the library. So we're planning on just keep going back every year to Mulberry Pond. And then probably the biggest thing we've been doing since summer ended was our Halloween frolic participation. We kind of did above and beyond what I thought we even could do this year. We did business trick-or-treating, of course, and then we got first in the business costume contest, second for the business parade float in the afternoon parade, and then we got the Spirit Award in the evening parade. And we had a haunted storytime float, and our costume, we were the Library of the Dead, and it was a lot of fun. So it's been a very long time, I think, since the library has participated in that much in the frolic. And so, and all of my staff had a great time, and we plan on keeping it up for next year. We don't know if we can achieve that greatness again 2 years in a row, but we're very happy with how it all went this year. That was our biggest thing we've done recently. Other smaller updates is that we are in talks with the Friends of the Library group, K-State Extension Office, Hiawatha Gardening Club, and local master gardeners. They're all meeting. They've met once. They're going to meet again, I believe, this week to talk about the service project of our outdoor landscaping and to keep up on it and to beautify our outdoor spaces. And we also did a craft swap in September. People dropped off of our large meeting room full of crafts that they were no longer able to use, but other people were able to come in and pick them up. And anything that didn't get picked up was sent out for free at the Friends book sale. And the Friends were able to raise, they raised about $1,000. And then after they donated back money to the space for the use of it, they were able to get about $800 from selling all of their used books that people wanted to bring by for that cause. And they already have dates set. I don't have them written down, but they have dates set to do it again next October as well. And then my last plug for an upcoming event, we're having another art show. We had all different types of art dropped off to us last December. We had model cars that were painted. We had metal sculptures, paintings, greeting cards people created. And so we're doing a whole week in December. We're also participating with all of the local schools. We're going to have their teachers bring by art that maybe parents don't get to see during the school year. They're going to be dropped off at the library. And the whole building will be decked out in all different types of art. And then there'll be a reception on a Saturday with live music. So that is what we have planned for the rest of this year. And then our other updates would be, we got several grants recently. We got a Walmart community grant for $1,000, and that will go towards engagement and enrichment programs for the youth. Northeast Kansas Library System awarded us $3,000 grant for a neurodiversity literacy project, which will help people with different types of conditions such as dyslexia, autism, ADHD, and other sensory processing disorders. This will help fund different types of devices, assistant devices that people can use in the library, such as magnifiers or hearing assistive devices, things like that will go towards those, and books as well that we can purchase with those funds. And last but certainly not least, Prairie Band Potawatomi granted us a sponsorship of $3,000, and that will fund 6 months worth of children's books and other programs. And we're very happy about that they accepted our application for that sponsorship. We will be able to put book plates again in any book that they were able to purchase for us, and their name will be in those books. And then November and December, we will do special story times also highlighting the different books that they were able to purchase for us to help strengthen that relationship between us and the Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation. That was a lot to give everybody, and I speak very quickly, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
I don't have anything.
Okay.
Thanks a lot for coming.
Thank you.
You bet. Next thing is Northeast Kansas Enterprise Facility. Teresa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, good evening. Thank you so much for allowing me to come and talk about our program. I'm with Enterprise Facilitation, Northeast Kansas. We've been we're a nonprofit, so we offer free and confidential business guidance. We've been in the area, in the region for going on 20 years. This June will be our 20-year anniversary. So we started in 2003. So I'm kind of excited about that. We still serve the same 5 counties we started with: Atchison, Brown, Donovan, Jackson, and Nemaha. Same funders that we started with 19 years ago in those 5 counties. And I'm not sure if that's. And so we're really pleased with the consistency. I'm the second facilitator in 19 years. So I've been doing this since 2010 in the region. And so a little bit about us. So I see some new faces. If you're not familiar with our program, we kind of fly under the radar. We're confidential, so that if someone has an idea to start a business, they can call us and we meet with them one-on-one. It's very person-centered. It's unlike any governmental organization. So we'll go to their house if they want us to come there. I'll go there. We'll sit over a kitchen table, talk about wherever they're at in their planning. Sometimes it's just an idea. They want to run up the flagpole, and they can't tell anyone, because in rural communities, that's like lighting a fire, that goes. And so they like that person that's just there to listen and help. I like to explain it down in a nutshell as we remove roadblocks from where they're at to where they want to be, because everybody's different. Everybody's at a different stage. Sometimes they want to replace their current income. They hate their job. I hear that a lot. I can't do it one more day. I've got to get out. And sometimes they just want a side gig. They just want some extra money because they're really good at something. They really are passionate about their hobbies and things like that. And then sometimes it's just a wild, notion. But a lot of times if they want to replace their income, things like that, well, each client we encourage to do a financial forecast. And so I have excellent Excel programs where we go through, put in all their expenses, put in what they want to, their profit centers and their monthly budget. And then we forecast for sales, and they get a 3-year snapshot of their income from that endeavor. And so it's very eye-opening. A lot of folks go into a business thinking, oh, this is just all fun and games and I'll be my own boss, so I can work whenever I want. And then they find out, oh, that's like 24/7 if you own your own business sometimes. So it's very eye-opening. And so we have a lot of success. And we do prepare clients to go to the bank. So lately, it seems like I've been at the bank a lot in my counties with different clients. So sometimes they want me to come with them just to answer questions about their forecasting. And they have a written business plan. We also help with the written business plan. I have a lot of bankers refer folks to us because it's, hey, I had somebody come in and just pitch this great idea. And they're like, yeah, do you have a plan? No. Do you know what you need? No, but it's going to work. It's great. So they go here, call Teresa, come back and see us. She'll get you all the bankers pretty much know I can get folks together with a written plan and a financial forecast, at least so they can submit a reasonable request to the bank or to the lender. So that's part of what we do. And existing businesses, we also help existing businesses. If you look there, our lion's share is new business, but we've assisted existing businesses too. And I like to always say that because we're there forever. If someone calls me and they have the idea, and then they, we go ahead and work together 20 times, 30 times to get them to the opening point. They call a year later, we're there. So it's not like we go away. So there's no limit. A lot of people ask me, have I exceeded my limit? Or can I write you a check? How much do I owe you? It's like, we're a free service supplied to you by your municipalities. So it's a really great service that is probably the best kept under the radar because of the confidentiality. It's funny, a lot of people say, don't come to my house. People might know your car. So let's meet, a town over or a county over. I've had people from Seneca meet Natchez. I mean, because of sometimes if they're going to leave an employer or something, it has to be, kept on the down low. So any questions about what I do to?
So how do you get your name out there then?
Right. So we have community, thank you. We have a community resource board of 75, well, 69 right now. It kind of varies between 68 and 75, 8. But community resource board that meets once a month. And then we're on constant contact with emails back and forth about clients. So my community resource board, and anyone is welcome to be on our board if you are willing to help folks for no benefit to yourself as a volunteer and are in good standing with the community. So I've got community leaders from 5 counties that brainstorm for all of our clients. Sometimes the clients will come and present, and it's really nice because then the board can put a face with the business and really, but everyone's so connected. If you think about it, those introductions, the board introduces me, bankers introduce me. Gosh, cities, our funders are pushing, say, hey, contact her. So, and now that we've had, it keeps growing and growing, 1,669 clients, clients have become some of my best references because they're like, hey, she helped us, call her. Like somebody will come in and say, I'm thinking about renting the building down the street or something, they're like, oh, call Teresa, she helped us. So now that we have so many clients, it's just kind of snowballed. So we do get our name out, even though it's a good question because we do kind of still try to stay the man behind the curtain kind of thing. It's like, you guys do the work and we'll help you with whatever goals you have. So, but we do help existing businesses a lot. And so I do get that question a lot too, is have I used up my time? I'm like, no, we have no limits on time. So we run about eight contacts on the average per client. And so some people have 100. I mean, I've got people with over 100 because they've been with me for 10 years and they call me a lot. And here's what I've got to say about that. And I tell our clients this: the clients that call me the most, that have all those contacts, are the most successful, bar none. I mean, they are the ones off the charts because they're always wanting to up their game, up their resources, up their contacts, up their bottom line. So it's pretty indicative of how successful they'll be. And so Brown County has done excellent. We've got some great board members here that are refer folks. Haley, I'll just name some of them. Haley Edwards, Kristen Hillier, Sarah Cleafer, I would say her name. Cleafer. Yeah, Chamber. Yeah, she comes to all the meetings. Marianne Tubach, she was one of the original founders of this organization. Stacy Simmer, Maxine Simmer, Michaela Moore, and Don Negus, and Angie Kreider from Rainbow. Rainbow's been a big supporter of our program. So yeah, so if you have any questions, let me know. I mean, Brown County's done very well. During the pandemic, our service, when everyone else was kind of stopping, business people were paralyzed. And so they were calling us. I did Zooms from morning till late at night with clients, the ones that wanted to succeed and stop being paralyzed and get out there and hit it. And like I said before, the ones that contacted me the most, especially during that trying time, a lot of times some of those grants came out later and I would contact all my clients and say, hey, you've got a chance to apply for this. A lot of times they would say, I made more money this year than I've ever made. I don't qualify for some of those. You have to have a loss. And so that made me feel, I was glad because I think with a little bit of support, they just need somebody to talk them through options, things like that. So
Do you help with website development?
we have, I am not a website developer. However, I've got some on my board that do help. And they'll give free consultations, free guidance, and then we have some lower budget options, depending on what they need for the website. Yeah. I got 2 or 3 developers. Yeah. That's a common question. That's a big deal. Yeah. Any other questions on that? I wanted to share some exciting news too, some more exciting news. I can't top that library, man. You pretty, made me feel like a slacker. Yeah. But this year, during the pandemic, when everyone was shut down and confined to their homes, I got an email. My board chair was in Virginia at a Main Street conference pre-pandemic, of course. and had met this author, a national author, and she writes a lot of business books and things on why you should love your community type of things. She's a community advocate, a rural advocate, and she speaks at all the national Main Street conventions. And so she was fascinated with our program. So when everything stopped, she sent me an email and asked if we could do a Zoom meeting. I was like, sure, okay. And so we talked for about an hour and a half, and I kind of forgot about it because that was a busy time for us. And so fast forward to a couple of months ago, I have a board member in Seneca that runs their Main Street, Kylie Bergstrom. And she goes, hey, did you ever hear back from that author? Because she follows her on social media. She loves her. And I'm like, I forgot all about that. Well, I just pre-ordered her book. And I'm like, well, she never called me back. So I don't know if I'm in it or not. I mean, we talked a long time, but I'd forgotten. And we are in the book. So it's a reason to move to Northeast Kansas is enterprise facilitation here. And so it really, she devotes 6 pages to us and then several pages also to go to Pika. But we were the only business coaching service that she touted. And so it made me feel really good. She's like, people that can live anywhere now and during the pandemic, all over, people were reassessing where they lived. A lot of people in the cities wanted to go back to their rural roots, because it was more spaced out, healthier, wanted to get their kids out of the cities. And so that's kind of what she writes about, why, you should consider where to move. If you can live anywhere, where would you live? And so Northeast Kansas, if you're an entrepreneur and you want to start a business, Northeast Kansas was top of the list. So I was kind of excited about that. So I like to tell all of our Northeast Kansas, you're in the book. And the next big event we have is going to be something that we've done for several years now, since 2010 actually, is a Northeast Kansas Entrepreneurship Academy. So it's a teenage academy for teenagers to come, high school students, 9th grade to 12th grade. They can come and they'll become immersed in entrepreneurship for 1 week. We meet on the campus of Highland Community College. They've been terrific hosts. They let the students stay in the dorms. They give us their vans to do all of our trips. We go on great tours, have great presentations. Leadership Kansas comes in and speaks to the students. And then they get to make their own TV commercial across the street here at Rainbow. And they just have a week of a deep dive into entrepreneurship. And at the end of the week, they get to present to a panel of judges. And there's over $1,000 in cash that's given out. And so, yeah, right? You've got some good graduates here from Hiawatha. So, but that's really exciting. I've had several students contact me years after the academy, and they're doing things, they're starting things, and they build this little network. This is what I like to think of for the long run is here we bring kids together. We've had up to 9 counties represented at this. And now in 10 years, when those kids are 26, 28, they've got this little connection, a network of their own, movers and shakers right here in Northeast Kansas. So I feel like it's built a really good web for the students to grow into the future leaders too. So that's about, I could go on, but sure you guys don't want to hear more. But if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I guess I'm pretty familiar with your organization. I've been here a long time, so, and you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
It's hard for some people, easy for them to criticize, but not giving anybody credit sometimes. I want to give you credit for
Well,
excellent
thank you.
job. No, thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Got anything?
Well, we hope that you'll remain a funder for us. We don't want to,
Yeah.
I always feel like the Beatles, it's like, you don't want to break up the band.
I
All of
don't
our-
think anybody forgets it's on the funding side either, so. they
Yeah,
usually let us
right.
go.
Try not to forget the funders. Yeah. But if in the future, if you have any questions or need anything, please feel free to call on me. If anybody wants to come to a board meeting or join the board, it's a fun board. You get to meet all the coolest people from all over the region. So a lot of the board members come to see the other board members, I think.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No old business, new business. Consider approval of employment agreement for the city administrator. A motion to approve and hire Becky Berger and authorize the mayor to sign the necessary agreements on behalf of the city of Hiawatha. I discussed this with Larry. He's reviewed all of it with all the commissioners. And so you've looked at the contract and Larry, you got anything to say?
You have said what I was going to say,
Okay.
so that is wonderful. I don't have to talk.
Well, well, let's go to action then.
Then I will make a motion to approve the hiring of Becky Berger and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement on behalf of the city of Hiawatha.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried.
Mr. Mayor, I'm proud to have presented this contract to you. I think Becky is somebody I've known for a number of years, and I think she'll fit in nicely in this community and do a hell of a good job for you.
Thank you, Larry, and I believe that too.
Thanks for
appreciate
all
all
your
the work
efforts,
you-
Larry, and getting her hired.
No, I gave him the heads up today, so he's got my opinion.
So you just worked yourself out of a job.
Amen.
And I think he's happy about it too.
think he is too.
Next thing, consider approval on a CBDG grant policy statement.
Mr. Mayor, members of the commission, we have a number of items in the that are related to our getting grants, particularly the Community Development Block Grant. And every year, they expect the cities that are participating in that program to review their personnel procurement policies, the civil rights policy, and a code of ethics. And I know you've looked at this, several times before, but it generally requires the governing body to approve them as you're going through the grant application process. And so I submit those to you for approval and for the opportunity for the mayor to sign those agreements and then for those policies so that we can particularly take advantage of Community Development Block Grant. And specifically, the project that we're working on right now is the partnership with USDA Community Development Block Grant Program for the sewer upgrades that we're working on that should be bid early next fiscal year. So my recommendation is that you approve those policies and authorize the mayor to sign them.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the procurement procedures policy, the procedures for civil rights complaints, and a code of ethics, and authorize the mayor to sign said documents.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Next thing, approval release agreement with Hemisphere GNSS USA Inc. for a lease of 10 acres and authorize the mayor and the city clerk to sign it. They've been using that for years for their test area on the east side of Walmart. That city owns 50-some acres in there. And they pay a pretty good fee, so and it's helping keep the business open and going. So I'd entertain a motion to go ahead and approve the lease agreement. You have the mayor and the city clerk sign the necessary documents. Is your motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Next thing, consider approval of reappointing Nick Hyatt. I think that's the way you spell it, isn't it?
Okay.
Eight. To the tree board, I'd make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded. Renominate Nick back to the tree board. Is there any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Next thing, consider approval of appointing Mark Copridge, Jim Regal to the airport board, in which I serve with these guys, and they've done an excellent job. And I'd make a motion, Mr. Copridge and Mr. Regal reappointed to the airport board. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any other comments? We'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Next thing, consider approval of master service agreement with terms of service with G-Works. Larry? You got anything? Or is it Dave? Oh,
It is.
you
Um,
wake up here.
the software company we've used since before I've started here, so probably the late nineties, I think we've took over. G-Works bought out the previous owner. This master service agreement came in as a really long document, so I asked Andy to review it. Andy did review it, and it was his recommendation to have you approve the agreement.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the agreement?
I'll make a motion to approve the master service agreement in terms of service with G-Works.
For a second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried. Next thing, consider approval to close City Hall to the public on noon of December the 30th, 2022 for the end of the year closeout. We do that every year. And so I'd entertain a motion, we approve noon shutdown on December the 30th and let the girls work inside by themselves. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve closing City Hall at 12 noon on December 30th, 2022 to allow for end of the year closeout.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any other comments? No other comments, we'll vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carried.
There's a typo on the stuff. You may start reading the very last sentence anymore.
Okay.
Sorry. Copy and paste happy.
Next thing, call an executive session for attorney-client. I would say, what, 15 minutes, Andy?
I'll make a motion that the city commission recess into executive session in the conference room for 15 minutes to discuss matters of potential litigation. The justification for closing the meeting is to consult with the city attorney to discuss matters privileged under the attorney-client relationship. The open meeting will resume at 6:29 in the, am I right? In the commission chambers, and to include the city commission attorney and interim administrator.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded, go in executive session, 15 minutes. Vote,
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
it's carried.
At 6:29, the city commission is called back into open meeting. The commission took no binding action during the executive session.
Second. Second.
Motion been made, second, come back in. Vote,
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
motion carried. Brad's not here. Dave Grimm,
I just have one thing for you to be aware of tonight. As of Friday, Dominic and I, with the help of Lynette Greer, we were able to provide the information to our Olson, our engineers. The project as of tomorrow morning, the phase one of the project will be 100% complete and submitted to KDHE for their approval. We're expecting about a 6-week timeline to get that back. And then things are going up to bid. We're still hoping for a January bid on the project. And with a April start date to get those lagoons going. So I want you guys to be aware of that for future reference. Okay,
What was your award date again? I didn't hear that.
sorry.
What was going to be the award date?
There is not an award date set yet because we don't know when KDHE is going to approve. KDHE
Okay.
has up to, actually they have up to 6 months. But their projects have been taking about 6 weeks to get
Okay.
information back. As soon as that is back in our hands, then we will, then we'll have a bid date. We were looking at what, a 30-day bid on this project. And then an award date and a start date will be set at that point.
Okay. I didn't catch everything you said. So thank
Okay? That's all I got. Thank you very much.
thank you,
Thank you,
Dave.
Dave.
Dominic,
Good evening. I don't have a lot to say, but I do have one thing. Thanks to Larry and Lynette. They helped us about 4 weeks ago. We put out, because Dave's leaving, and we hired a guy, and his name's Russell Cousins. And so I'm happy to say we're going to get him going real soon, so we can get him trained. I mean, that is still we'll have 3, but he's with the fire department also, so we're proud to have him.
Great.
okay,
Thank
you. Me. Thank you, Dominic. Herb? Stacy's not here. Do you have anything? Stacy, Becky?
Nope. Oh, you do?
Larry does.
There he is.
Oh,
She sent me an email.
oh, I see. Well, somebody's getting one.
Yeah. She had 338 people, kids go through the Monster Maze for the 3-night event. Their 2-night festival, Frights Haunted House, had 568 people. She called that a new record for the indoor-outdoor haunts. A thank you for Commissioner Mindendorf and his wife Layla for coming to the Halloween morning and assisting in the cleanup crew. So that was nice of you to handle that. They had 225 people through their trunk or treat. Their Great Pumpkin Relay was canceled due to low registration. The next one up is the Turkey Trot for the winter activities. So that's what she's got.
Thank you, Larry. Dave Wilson?
I had a couple things. BG Consultants, you'd agreed to have them do a couple brief projects for us. One has to do with the clock tower, where the clock mechanism is, and the other has to do with the clock tower building. The city owns the clock tower, and you've got a preliminary report in your packet. And I want to address it. That's what it is. It's a preliminary report. They're using RS Means as a template for estimating some of the costs that are involved. And so that's a pretty robust program. Dave probably used it before. It's made more for commercial type applications. So don't be shocked at some of the prices that it's going to populate. The work can probably be done for less than that, but it's a good basis. And with that preliminary report and their final product, it's designed to prioritize the work so we can determine what needs to be done first and an estimate of the costs that are involved, and be able to get those projects bid and if necessary, determine that. And then the interim report was both have a fixed cost of their net product. The clock tower was $3,400, and they did an interim billing with this preliminary report. And I don't expect that to be much longer to have the finished product from them. The clock tower building, the part that we're setting in right now, is a pretty elaborate report. So, and the costs are additional for that, but it will also give us an opportunity of knowing what needs to be done, the total cost that could be expected for that others will likely be exposed to. So any questions of me?
Sounds good to me.
Okay,
All right.
we'll look forward to the rest of the report.
All right, thank you, Dave. Patrick, not here tonight. He was there earlier, and he's got a meeting of his own down there, so he had to bail out early. So he can take care of his job down there, and we'll take care of ours up here. So, Mickey? Has anybody got anything, Mickey? Okay, thank you, Mickey. Lynette?
I have a few things. Reminder, Friday is Veterans Day, so all city offices will be closed. And then we are closed on the 24th and 25th for Thanksgiving. So the next meeting will be the 28th. And seeing that, I realized that we have Shop Local is on the 26th. So in front of you, you'll see the proclamation. The mayor's going to sign that, and we'll advertise it the week of. Just wanted to, I kind of forgot. So with the change of meetings, we had to get it kind of out there. I will be, if Megan and I will both be gone for conference next week. We'll leave on Sunday and we gone pretty much most of the week for city clerk training. We down Wichita. I think in your packet, you have some emails from our trust company regarding some building updates. I received another one this morning regarding the exterminator company. They're going to be here on the 30th to have a lift in front of the building to start sealing gaps, screening the vents, and installing valves to start working on getting rid of our problem upstairs. So I want to at least let you know that. You guys have any questions for me?
You can still keep the building open while they're working, or?
Yes, they're just gonna be working pretty much outside, working on getting the,
Okay,
because everybody's in hibernation right now. Nothing's gonna really happen till springtime anyways, but they're gonna at least start getting things prepared.
Too bad we couldn't have got that done 6 months ago.
I agree with you, but we all we can do is move forward right now, so.
Well, it wasn't because it wasn't on our mind.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Andy? Okay. How about Larry?
Mr. Mayor, I have a report from Brad as well. During the rainstorm Friday, something happened at the traffic signal at First in Oregon, and he thinks there's some sort of a short in there. And so the system has been set on flashers at that point. He called for a traffic signal repair firm to come. And he told me that they will be here tomorrow midday to look to see what is wrong with the system. I've given you another copy of the dashboard. The dashboard basically is still telling me consistent things about what we need to do for budget amendments. And one of the things that I gave you tonight is a draft copy of the budget amendment that I'm going to propose. The hearing, the public hearing that will be held December 12th will allow us to make those budget adjustments within the calendar year, and those three funds will have positive revenue expense and budget to expense numbers when we close the year at the end of December. It looks to me that those are the only three that we're going to need. But, as soon as I say that, and I said that the last couple of years when I was in Hillsborough, there was always an outlier that popped up and said, all right, well, I'm going to screw everything up. And by the way, you're not going to look as smart as you thought you were. But at this point, this is what we think. Let's see. Finally, I've got a calendar that I've given to each of you for the next several weeks. It looks like my work schedule is going to be 3 days rather than 4. And as a result of you approving the employment agreement with Becky Berger, my last days here will be December 5, 6, and maybe 7. So I'm looking forward to working with Becky for that period of time, which I really wanted to say I'm really looking forward to being done also. But
I know what you meant.
I didn't want to say that out loud, but I did it anyway.
Our next meeting is the 28th, right? Not the 21st. You're meeting a week early,
Okay.
so we're on the 28th.
That's even better because I'm helping Susan with some stuff at church on the end of the week, 14 to 19. And so that just may mean because it's Thanksgiving week, I may just skip that week. I'll think about it. And then 30th of November, November 1st and 2nd is the annual KACM, the Kansas City County Management Association Conference that I will be attending. I am, as you all know, a senior advisor for the association, and it is one of those things where when city managers get together, our senior advisors need to be present with where they're at so that we can help coach if we need to and that sort of thing. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Back in my notes here, I got too many papers laying around. No, it's easy. It's come up and I don't have anything. Might let everybody know to get out and vote. Eddie,
I don't have anything.
Becky?
And just to piggyback off of what Stacy said about the haunted house, I just wanted to give there's a group that puts that all together, but I wanted to give a little special shout out to Chris Diller, just because he's one of my sped teachers as well. And I don't know if I need to be concerned that a lot of the stuff that's in that haunted house belongs to him. I don't know, but anyway, that group put on a tremendous, I mean, I went through the thing during the daylight. That was quite good enough for me. But anyway, I said, a whole group did it, but I just wanted to make sure and point out that Chris Tiller donated a lot of his time to help make that what it is. Which was a pretty neat affair. And same thing as what the mayor said. I just encourage everybody to get out and vote. It's one of our rights. We should utilize it. And that's it.
Brian,
I don't have anything tonight.
Dave.
Just to add on what you said about Stacy and the Halloween thing there. She told me that she had people coming in from towns around Hiawatha. So it's, if she has that again, which I'm sure she will next year, it's probably gonna, we're probably gonna get a lot more people because they're gonna be coming from other towns.
Yeah. She said
That's
that they won't go
amazing.
back to that trail, the outdoor terror on the trail. She said, we're not going to go back to that. That they like that
That's all
haunted
I have.
house.
Your motion we adjourn.
Make a motion to move adjourn.
Second it.
Motion been made and seconded to adjourn. We'll vote.
Aye.
Jared. Larry, I got all the contracts in the folder. On the, and all them. I got these signed.
You have, you've got 2 copies of the agreement there?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead and sign them.
I already signed them.
Yeah, because tomorrow we're gonna put those in an envelope and mail them to her to have her sign and return to us.
Okay. All that, Andy gets the stuff ready for me tomorrow. I'll be in the
Yeah, we'll
office
get you out tomorrow.
whenever he calls.